So with the oversaturation of VPNs in today's market, it can get very confusing as to which VPN is actually worth your money. So too many VPNs, they just end up collecting and selling your data, especially the free ones, which really defies the very purpose of using a VPN in the first place. So in today's review, I've chosen the top 4 VPNs after having tested over a couple dozen VPNs, and I've narrowed it down to just 4. So I'll be looking into things like the privacy policy, speed, streaming and torrenting capabilities, and of course, security and features so that you can actually figure out which one of these VPNs could be the best choice for you in your situation. Okay, so we'll start with the privacy policy, which is arguably the most important aspect of a VPN. Now, most VPNs, they claim that they have a no logs policy, but actually that's almost never the case. So you should just never trust a provider's word for it unless they have the evidence to back their claims up. So in this case, all 4 VPNs that I'm going over have evidence of holding up their no logs policies in the form of independent audit reports. So when using any of these VPNs, your internet service provider or anyone else won't be able to see what you're doing and won't be able to request any data from them since they don't keep any logs in the first place, as proven in the audit reports. And of course, they're all based outside the 5-9 and 49 jurisdiction except for Surfshark. Surfshark is based in the Netherlands, but that hasn't changed anything in the privacy policy of Surfshark.
All 4 VPNs accept cryptocurrencies as payment for complete anonymity.
They offer DNS and IP leak protection. They all run their servers on RAM disks rather than hard disks, which means that there are simply no physical drives for information to be stored on. And any minimal information stored by the RAM is erased with every machine reboot. So which one is more secure? I would say it's a pretty close call between Express and Nord, but I do have to hand it to ExpressVPN because their no logs policy could not have been demonstrated any better than in a real life situation back in 2017. The Turkish government seized an ExpressVPN server as part of their investigation, but they were not able to extract any information out of the servers thanks to Express not having stored any information on their servers in the first place. Then after that, I would have to say Surfshark and then CyberGhost come after Express and Nord in the privacy ranking, but to conclude, all of these VPNs offer a solid no logs policy. So that's certainly good enough to protect you while you're surfing the web and downloading files. Now, in terms of performance, it's natural for speeds to drop when using a VPN due to the time it takes to encrypt your traffic before it reaches the internet. But despite that, a good VPN will, keep those speed drops to a minimum, and all these VPNs performed pretty well in that area. To sum it up, Nord is definitely the fastest, though Express came pretty close too, but regarding consistency, Express does manage to maintain high speeds even with international servers. So more often than not, I did notice that Nord was able to reach higher speeds, but overall, the speed drops of most servers were very solid, ranging between 10 and 35%, whereas NordVPN's NordLynx protocol managed to surpass both ExpressVPN and Surfshark, making NordVPN arguably the fastest VPN you can get. So Nord keeps speed drops between 10 and 25%, and sometimes even below 10, which is outstanding. So following Nord and Express would be Surfshark and CyberGhost, like I mentioned, and while they may be a little behind Express and Nord, they're not that far behind, with speed drops ranging between 12 and 35%, depending on the service you're connected to and how far you are from such servers. So most people wouldn't even notice a drop like that, but it all adds up. So overall, these VPNs are super quick, but the winner in this category is without a doubt NordVPN, closely followed by Express and then Surfshark and then CyberGhost. Now, moving on to streaming and torrenting capabilities, all 4 VPNs allow for torrenting without any throttling or bandwidth limitations, so you can download as many files as you'd like without anyone ever knowing what you're downloading, and this includes your internet service provider. So when it comes to accessing streaming services, you can do that without any trouble. Here again, all 4 of these VPNs are great at this, though it is worth noting that in terms of streaming libraries, ExpressVPN is able to access a little bit more Netflix libraries and streaming services thanks to the constant updates their servers go through in order to, get around some of the obstacles streaming services put in place. But to be clear, all 4 VPNs are able to access the most popular libraries such as North American, European, and Japanese Netflix libraries, which I know most of you guys are looking for anyway. And of course, they are able to access other streaming services such as Hulu, Disney Plus, Amazon Prime Video, and a whole bunch of other streaming services, So when it comes to streaming, these VPNs are somewhat equal, but I would say ExpressVPN has a slight edge over the other 3. Also, keep in mind that if your ISP isn't blessing you with the highest of connection speeds and you can't really afford to lose out on streaming power, then I'd recommend that you just stick with the highest performers here, which are Express and Nord. But maybe if your speed is already fast enough for comfortable 4K streaming, then Surfshark and CyberGhost will do the job just fine. All right, now moving on to servers and security features. ExpressVPN has over 3,000 servers in 105 countries. Nord has a massive collection of over 6,200 servers in 111 countries. Surfshark has 3,200 servers in 100 countries. And finally, CyberGhost has the biggest number of servers with over 11,000 servers in 100 countries. So all 4 VPNs essentially have plenty of options with regards to server and country count. Now, if we're going to talk about security features, this is where NordVPN and Surfshark really shine. But before we get into that, let's get into what all 4 VPNs have in common. So for starters, you've got the standard AES 256-bit encryption. You've got a kill switch that'll cut your internet access in case the VPN disconnects unexpectedly. That prevents any potential data leaks. And also you've got the split telling feature, which lets you select which applications can go through the VPN tunnel and like which are exempt from it, so it saves you on your traffic there. Though note that iOS and Mac users, they won't get split tunneling with any of these VPNs or any VPN as a matter of fact, just because of Apple's restrictive operating systems. Now that's all they have in common, but pretty much everything Express has to offer in terms of features, but that's just because Express wants to deliberately make their service as easy and as intuitive as possible, so that it's super user-friendly, no matter what their tech knowledge is, anyone can use their application. They did add one more neat feature very recently for Windows called Threat Manager, which blocks ads and malware websites. So it can also be used as a form of parental control, because then you can now use ExpressVPN to block out adult content. So it's very nice that Express is adding more features. But with that being said, let's get into what Nord and Surfshark have in common. Starting with the ad blocker, they've got specialty servers such as static or dedicated IP servers, as well as multi-hop or double VPN servers, which double encrypts your traffic. So it is worth noting that NordVPN's ad blocker, which is called threat protection in this case, it's an advanced ad blocker. It also blocks trackers and malware-ridden websites and also protects you from any malicious files before they get downloaded to your device, which acts as a little bit of a mini antivirus. They also have MeshNet. That's a feature that allows you to safely share files over the encrypted network of NordVPN. And then you have another exclusive feature offered by Nord, which is the Onion over VPN. So that allows you to use both Onion Anonymizer and NordVPN's encryption together. So just a lot of encryption overall. They also have peer-to-peer specialty servers. Although regular servers will still allow for peer-to-peer activity, these are just specialized servers designed for file sharing if you'd like to use them. Nord also gives you an app kill switch that will disconnect selected applications when the VPN disconnects unexpectedly, rather than cutting your entire connection as it would with the conventional kill switch. And the last thing that Nord gives you is also a very streamlined way to change your DNS with custom DNS, which is a pretty neat feature. Now with Surfshark, the only distinct feature that sets it apart from NordVPN is called rotating IP, which will automatically change your IP address every 5 to 10 minutes while your VPN location stays the same. So this can be very helpful if you're in a censorship heavy country and are having trouble connecting to Surfshark. You also get no borders mode, which will help you get around network firewalls in censorship heavy countries. Now, CyberGhost also has some pretty convenient features such as exceptions and app rules. Exceptions will let you choose the websites you don't want to go through the VPN tunnel. And this would come in handy in situations like you wanting to change your region to access a specific Netflix library, but you don't want your banking website to think that you're in a different region, so that you don't have to log in again or possibly get logged out of your bank account, because there are measures banks use to avoid fraud. As for the other feature called app rules, this one will make CyberGhost automatically launch and connect to a selected server when you open an application of your choice. For example, you can set it so that when you launch your torrenting client, CyberGhost will automatically connect to a server of your choice so that you'll be protected while downloading without having to manually connect to the VPN. Another really cool feature that I definitely have to mention is how I can simply look up the streaming service that I want to access
access. And CyberGhost will just show me all the servers dedicated to accessing that specific streaming service, which is very nice of CyberGhost. So if I want to access Hulu or Amazon, I can simply look up these services and CyberGhost will just show me the appropriate servers to do the job. And of course, you have the other server lists that are optimized for torrenting, anonymity, and low ping for gaming. Now, in terms of protocols, all 4 VPNs have a variety of protocols that will suit your needs. Express includes a selection including OpenVPN, IKE version 2, and their high-speed proprietary protocol, Lightway UDP. NordVPN simply has OpenVPN and arguably the fastest protocol out there, NordLynx. And Surfshark has OpenVPN, IKE version 2, and WireGuard, which is its best performing protocol. And lastly, CyberGhost has OpenVPN, IKE version 2, and of course the WireGuard protocol. So all in all, when it comes to security features, Nord and Surfshark are at the top, with Nord gaining a little bit of an advantage over Surfshark. While Express and CyberGhost don't have that many features compared to Nord and Surf, they still offer the necessary features to keep your device safe and secure. So with regards to compatibility, all 4 VPNs support the big 4, which are iOS, Android, Mac, and Windows. And besides that, they also support Linux compatible routers, PlayStation, Xbox, Fire TV, Apple TV, Google Chrome, and Firefox extensions, and basically most modern devices. So overall, all 4 support a reasonably wide range of devices. Now, as far as simultaneous connections go, Express will allow for 8, Nord will allow for up to 10, CyberGhost will allow up to 7, and Surfshark will actually just let you secure an unlimited number of devices with just a single account, which makes it a very attractive choice for those of you who don't want to buy compatible routers or additional subscriptions in order to use more than 5 or 6 devices simultaneously with a VPN in the household. Now, in terms of the user interface, you'll find that each VPN has its own theme and layout, all of which are super easy to use and understand. So ExpressVPN goes with the extremely simplistic design, which a lot of people like, myself included. NordVPN goes with the intuitive map design, which I also very much appreciate as a geography nerd. And lastly, Surfshark and CyberGhost go with a modern interface that's super easy to read and navigate. And so while each of these VPNs are easy to use and would work well for newbies, it's really a matter of preference, which one might suit you best in terms of the interface. Now, when it comes to pricing, typically, you would get the best deal possible the longer the subscription plan you choose. Also, each VPN tends to offer promotions or discounts or coupon codes, so I've provided links to all the best discounts I could get for all 4 VPNs in the description below. But overall, Express tends to be the most expensive here, as the lowest price you can get for ExpressVPN is still a little over $6.50 per month on the 1-year plan. Nord is like the middle price-wise, coming in at about $3 a month for a 2-year plan, and Surfshark is a little over $2 per month on the 2-year plan, which is the most affordable premium-like VPN you can possibly get. And finally, CyberGhost is the cheapest option if you opt for the 2-year plan at around $2 a month. So if you're looking for the lowest cost option for a great VPN, then Surfshark or CyberGhost would definitely be the way to go. And again, just remember to check the links below for any extra discounts on any of these VPNs. So keep in mind that they all also offer a hassle-free 30-day money-back guarantee on all their plans, except for CyberGhost, where you get a 45-day money-back guarantee. Besides that, they all include 24/7 live chat support in case you need any help or have any questions. So I'm sure at this point you might be wondering, out of the 4, which is the best one? I mean, this depends on a few factors. Like, if you're looking for the best budget VPN that gets the job done at the cheapest possible cost without giving up any of the premium features that are usually only available on more expensive VPNs, plus the ability to secure virtually an unlimited number of devices with just a single subscription, then Surfshark is a fantastic option. Now, if you're looking for an even cheaper alternative and with maybe some time-saving convenience features and reliable access to various streaming services and, solid encryption that lets you download or torrent safely, and of course, with the biggest number of servers out of all 4, then CyberGhost could be just the right VPN for you. And if you're looking for a super well-rounded, high-value VPN that does nearly everything right without any compromise, NordVPN is a no-brainer, especially since it's quite reasonably priced and has the largest pool of countries on this list. And finally, if you're looking for the best of the best in terms of like reliability, consistency, ease of use, and
arguably the best and most proven privacy policy in the industry, especially if utmost anonymity is your concern or you're in a restrictive country, then ExpressVPN is definitely the winner here. So for me personally, I prioritize that simplicity and ease of use and reliability, over additional features that you can get with Nord, Surfshark, or CyberGhost. So that's why I tend to lean towards ExpressVPN, personally speaking. I don't really need all the bells and whistles, but in the end, it all depends on your needs and situation. I'm just here to tell you guys about what I think the best 4 VPNs are out there, and you can do what you will with that information. But these are the top 4 VPNs, and these are the ones I usually recommend to family and friends. So with that said, let me know which ones you picked in the comments down below and why, because I'd also love to know why you guys use these VPNs in the first place besides the obvious reasons. So otherwise, thanks so much for watching the video. I hope I was able to help you make a good decision, or a final decision rather. And if you found this info helpful, please leave a thumbs up. That always makes my day. And remember to subscribe if you'd like to stay up to date with everything VPNs and cybersecurity. So thank you guys very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.